I'm going to show you how I make the masks that I'm making for school. So I have this pattern that I downloaded from Instructables, and I will put a link on my profile for it. When you make it, it's folded in half like this. So when you open it, it looks like this. But you need 2 pieces of fabric for each mask. This is my main fabric. This is my inside fabric that's actually going to be backwards so that you can tell the difference between the inside and the outside when you're in a hurry to put it on if you happen to be in that situation. So then I put them on top of each other like this, and I cut off any, because they're not all perfect, you guys. I'm in a hurry, so they're not all perfect, but these ones are already done. So what I do is I sew, I start in the middle here, back stitch, and I go all the way around, and then I go down to wherever, about here, back stitch to lock it, and then I put it aside. What I'm going to do then is turn it inside out, and I'll be right back. Okay, I have turned this one inside out. So here is the fabric that you saw here. And see how this one is inside out here? So I have flipped it. So now this fabric is actually the inside of the mask, and this is the nice pretty outside of the fabric. And it's kind of like a pillowcase where it's just the seams. So I press it just to make it nice and flat. And then here's my opening here. And I just fold it in. Sorry. Let's see here. Clearly, I don't make videos. I fold it in here like this, and just with my fingers, just try and line it up the best I can, and I finger press like that. Okay, so there's that. Now the next thing I would do from here is, I'm gonna get one that I've already made, is I would, this one's hard to see, you can see more on the inside, go around and do a top stitch right here. I do it all the way around the entire piece. It's hard to see. Once that top stitch is done, I then do the folds to make it like this one here. I just fold it down, and I make 3 folds. Forget this part right now and this, how it looks funny, but and it's nice and flat, and then I spray starch on it, but you don't need to. You can also just do steam. I don't do steam in my iron because it ruins my iron. But I fold it down like that, and then I top stitch here. I go over it 3 times just to make sure. And is it perfect? No, not at all. Over 3 times. Then this particular pattern has this little notch cut out at the top. So this one here is done, but in the birds one that we're working on, this here, you just sew a diagonal line right here. I go over it 3 times just for sturdiness. I cut off the excess, like you can see here. I've cut it off, and I've snipped the threads. What that'll do is when you are wearing it, it provides a tightness around the nose, and you can also do a small one on the bottom. These are the ones I was making. I'm not making them anymore, so they're a little bit harder, but I have one on the bottom and the top of each of these, and because then it makes it so that it opens as well for your chin. So and then here's one that's done. I make ties for the sides. The old ones I was making look beautiful, but they're basically the same design. They just take longer because I'm making it look all nice and pretty, but I don't have time for that right now. So I am just triple stitching these ties on. How do I make the ties? Hold on. Okay, so when I was cutting the pieces for the masks, I went ahead and also cut an 1.5 inch strip, as many 1.5 inch strips as I could from each piece of scrap fabric. You usually can get enough of these strips. You could usually get enough to make one mask, and then the second, or however many masks you got out of like this bird fabric that I have here, I'll just use white because I have an abundance of white. So I will use white to make those. But what I do for these is I iron them down in half. I'm just finger pressing right now just for time's sake. Then I fold both ends in, fold, fold, and then fold again. Oh, that one did not come out good. Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can pop this again. Ah! Sorry. Okay. It's folded in half, right? So that I iron it that way. And then I take it and I fold this side into the half, this side into the half, and then fold it over. And what that does is it gives you a nice sturdy edge so that these last you a long time and not just one time wear. Okay. Then what I do is I stitch it from the top, and I stitch it all the way down to the end. And let me get that one that's finished. So these need to be, let's see, 20 inches, I think. No, 18 inches. They just need to be long enough from where this ends on your face till this long, so that you can tie them in the back. And what it does is it really does, because of this little notch that you made, it really is nice around the face. It's comfortable. It's not itchy. It's light. But yet the fabric that I'm using is tightly woven. It's not inexpensive Walmart fabric. It's more tightly woven than that. I have all of these, and I have all this fabric cut ready to go. I have more fabric right now. I'm just doing my blues. I have all my scrap fabric is into bins based on color, so I've only gone through the blue so far. Anyways, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. They need to be washed and dried. And to get them sterile, you dry them in a high heat dryer for 20 minutes. And that will kill anything that's on them. The cleaning, they just need to be cleaned if they're actually dirty. But sterilizing them, you can just throw them in the dryer real quick. Okay,